And now from Sameet Chavan as well as Manish Sharma, they both join us with their top trading ideas. Good morning to both of you. Sameet, over to you first and tell us which stocks would you like to recommend to our viewers?
Good morning, Kamya.
Morning.
My two recommendations on the buy side would be first one, Reliance Infra for a target of 375 and stop loss can be kept around 332. Recently, this stock gave a rebound from its multi-year support of 280 and moved towards 360, 355. However, this up move precisely got retraced by 61% in last few days, and the stock is now moving higher. It is now moving above its 20-day EMA. Looking at the overall chart structure and positive placement of momentum oscillator, we expect this bounce to extend towards 370, 375 over the next few trading sessions. Our second recommendation would be to buy Infosys for a target of 1080 and stop loss can be kept at 1035. I'm sorry, my stop loss would be 1080 and my target would be 1135. The stock recently retraced its previous up move by 50% and took a support around its daily 20 EMA, which is around 1080, 1085. Today it has given a breakout on the hourly charts beyond its resistance zone of 1090, 1100 and is now moving towards 1125, 1130, which is the next resistance. Going forward, we expect this stock to move towards 1135, 1140 and stop loss can be kept at 1080. And our final recommendation would be to short UPL for a target of 485 and stop loss would be 522. In last 3 days when broader market were bouncing, this stock corrected from the high levels of 530, 535. This clearly indicates its weakness. The stock is now trading around its support level of 485, 490, but we believe that going forward 515 to 520 would act as a strong resistance. Hence, it's advisable to short this counter around 508, 510 for a target of 485 and stop loss can be kept at 522.
Thanks very much, Sameet, for running us through your picks. It's Infi, which is clearly the standout there. The stock is currently up by a good 2%. Let's also bring on board then Manish Sharma to find out the stocks that he's picking out. 2 buys and 2 sells. Run us through your picks then on Traders 20, Manish.
My first recommendation is a buy call in Ashok Leyland. This stock is trading in a dream bull run from last 1 year, has given a substantial return from an investor point of view, but from traders point of view as well, it has given some very good swing trades opportunities. The trend is clearly on the upside, so one can go long in this for a target of 95 and fix a small stop loss at 87. My second recommendation is a buy call in Amar Raja. We have seen an aggressive correction in the stock from last few trading sessions. The stock has taken a support at 100 DMA, which was placed around 908. That is the reason why we have started seeing a good amount of short covering happening in this counter. We believe there are a lot of short positions still left in the system. Because of short covering, the stock may touch the levels of 990, 1000 odd. So one can go long in this for a target of 990 and fix a stop loss at 920. My third recommendation is a sell call in Tata Motors. This stock is trading in a strong downtrend, lower highs and lower lows formation on the daily charts, which clearly indicates the momentum is on the downside. We expect the stock to test the levels of 325, 330 in the coming days. One can play on the short side in this with a short-term trading stop loss at 365 and look for the target of around 330 on it. And my last recommendation is a sell call in Apollo Hospital. This stock has rallied from 1250 odd levels to 1430 in very short span of time, but the stock is facing a strong resistance around 1450 zone. On daily chart, there is a double top formation as well, which is why we are clearly seeing the strong supply is coming in the stock around that zone. The stock is now in a short-term technical correction mode. It can test the levels of 1320 in the coming days. So when one can go short in this, placing a stop loss at 1440.
Okay, 2 buy and 2 sell call coming in from Manish Sharma, but away from equities, let's shift focus to commodities and find out what's happening in that space. Manisha Gupta, our commodities editor, now joins in for a quick check on that. Hi Manisha, tell us what's happening.
Hi Kamyan, thank you so much for that. Well, as far as the commodities go, the last day of the week have seen some buying coming in, especially in the precious metal space. They are off their 1-month lows. The positive is that it's a third week of decline continuing for this gold and silver prices. The strength in US dollar, the concern still on about the Fed perhaps rising interest rates in the next week is something that continues to weigh onto that space. And after 4% gains, you have seen some decline come back for the crude oil prices. So 0.25% to 0.5% of a decline coming in for the crude varieties. The Indian prices in the meanwhile have been trading quite flat. It really has to do with the base metal sector, which has been quite volatile, but it has been days of gains onto that one as well. The markets have been expecting further stimulus coming in from China. The Germany data has been positive as well. So that is something that's capping too much of a loss coming in for that sector. But for today, how do you trade that space? For that, let's get in Vandana Bharti from SMC Delhi, and she joins us on the show with her strategies on all of that space. Vandana, hi, good to have you. What's your sense now coming in for the gold prices? It's festival time in India, but the physical buying is not to be seen. Markets do expect 1100 as a level to give away in the near term.
Yeah, Manisha, actually gold and crude, these are the two commodities which actually attracted the attention of investors, and we have seen inflows in commodity counter, especially in exchange traded products, because of the high volatility in these two commodities. For gold, from $1170, now it has come towards the level of $1100, which is a major support for this commodity. So from here we are expecting a little bounce back, and you know, the Fed meeting is a major trigger for this commodity, and the market is divided into two parts, and there is expectation of 50-50 that Fed will go for interest rate hike or not. So this is really a dubious situation for this commodity as well, for entire commodity counter. So for gold, we may see some contra move in today's trading session, because today is Friday, and generally we see a contra move on Friday. So for today's trading session, I am a buyer in gold, and I am expecting that in COMEX it may move towards the level of $11.15 to $11.16, $17, and in MCX I am expecting that it should touch the mark of 26,325, because even dollar index, it is moving down and it is showing the nervousness into the market because ahead of the Fed meeting.
Point well taken, Vandana. What's your sense for the base metal space then? Because the nickel prices are trading at around 3-week highs. We've seen some support come in for that one. But after the gains yesterday, we haven't seen any follow-through buying coming in there.
Yeah, I'm not confident about the buying which we have seen in last few days in base metal counter, because in copper was really good, and because it was all of the news that Glencore, it has closed the mines which had the capacity of 5 lakh tons of copper. So we have seen good buy in copper, but yes, copper is not sustaining on higher side, and same is happening with the nickel. Yesterday we have seen very good move in nickel, but yes, fundamental is still bearish, and I'm expecting a fall from upper side in nickel, because today the US Michigan confidence data is scheduled, and we are expecting a negative outcome from this data, and if it happens, we may see further fall in the prices of nickel. So yes, for nickel, one should go for sell at the level of 695 for the target of your 680 for this battle October contract, with a stop loss of your 701.
On that, Vandana, we'll let you go at that. Really appreciate you joining us with your strategies. So that's the view then coming in from SMC. They are buying gold, but selling nickel is how they want to trade commodities today. With that, it's back to you guys.
Manisha, thanks so much for joining in and giving us a glimpse as to what's going on in the commodities universe. And a very important disclaimer that if you'll be acting on any of the advice, you should consult your financial advisor before doing so. A quick shout out then to all of our 6 equity trading guests for sharing your top picks on T20. And with that, we'll take a quick break. Do come right back on the other side. It's the last and final day of BNSN, the stock game.